First, welcome everyone. This is another great event. Good afternoon. We are so happy that the rain stayed away this week and we're able to come out here and finally get one of these things right this time. My name is Rick Anthony. I'm the Director of Recreation Parks for Anne Arundel County. And before we get started, I just kind of want to welcome a few key partners and players and our guests here. First, obviously, we have our county executive, Mr. Steve Schuh. Thank you. Representing this district, I believe, we have Councilman Pruski's aide, Dave Helmecki. Dave here, there you go, Dave. A group that's very dear to our heart here at the department, our Rec Advisory Board. We have Mr. Woody Bowen, Rudy, and Mike Lofton. Thank you for coming out. Also, another very close friends group, the president of our trails, Dave Green, and the friends of the trails are here today too. Dave, would you just raise your hand for us? Thank you. Obviously, things of this nature really doesn't happen without the cooperation and teamwork of our county support staff, and I definitely want to acknowledge Meddy Smith from the Office of Law. Thank you, Meddy, for being here. Chris Phipps from the Department of Public Works and his crew, Alejandro and Khadijah are here. Thank you for coming out today. And obviously, we acknowledge IMP and Planning and Zoning, who also had a lot to do with this. Today, we have come together to celebrate a project that is very important for the residents of Anne Arundel County and the state of Maryland, the opening of the WB&A Trail extension from Conway Road to the Patuxent River. This 1.7-mile extension of the WB&A Trail is the third phase and last leg of a 10-foot wide paved trail from Odenton Road to the Patuxent River. In 2008, the county completed the first 4 miles of the trail. In 2013, with a public-private cooperative effort among the Classic Group, Two Rivers Associates, and the county, the last section of this trail is now a reality. And the people that really needs to be honored during this time, I just really want to thank Dover Hankins. Can you please raise your hand? Bill Dodd, Gary Koch, Bill Gerald, Steve Nardella, and Eric DeVito. At this time, I would like to welcome up our county executive, Steve Schuh.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out on this beautiful Anne Arundel County day. This is a great event with a beautiful development. I was mentioning to the developers that I visited here probably 9 months ago when a lot of dirt was getting moved and things were just getting started. And yeah, I could sort of see the potential, but it's turned out to be just a fabulous community and a great addition to Anne Arundel County. So thank all of you for your tremendous efforts. I especially want to thank Gary Koch, Dover Hankins, Bill Dodds of the Classic Group at Two Rivers Associates for designing and constructing this beautiful trail to the Patuxent River with the support and guidance of John Corin. Where's John? Who is head of our Bike Commission and president of Bike AAA. This exciting expansion is just one example of many great things to come out of that organization, as well as our Water Access Committee. I also want to take the opportunity to thank our park rangers, the Anne Arundel County Recs and Parks folks, as well as the Office of Law, DPW, and all the other county departments that had a hand in this effort. Our administration, as I hope everyone knows, is very committed to improving the quality of life in Anne Arundel County by making investments in our networks of bike trails, of canoe and kayak launches, trailered boat ramps, parks, swimming beaches, and other amenities to make sure that the quality of life in Anne Arundel County is second to none. And particularly when it comes to bike trails, to making sure that we have a fully built out network of bike trails that will enable people to go from the North County area out to Downs Park or out to Sandy Point or all the way down to Deal safely and enjoyably with their families, either for recreation or for work travel. And this is part of that. This effort is very much part of that. And this year in the budget, we're investing over $1 million in all those types of quality of life initiatives. The county has never before made such a significant budgetary priority of these kinds of projects, and I want to thank the County Council for its support. Now, the Patuxent River that Rick just mentioned a minute ago is what this project is all about. It sits between the Little Patuxent over there and the Big Patuxent over here. They come together south of us and then proceeds on many, many miles. This river is extremely interesting. It was first mapped in 1608 by John Smith, who seems to have mapped pretty much everything around here, but he did come all the way up this far up the river and mapped it. It's 115 miles long. It is the largest river entirely in Maryland. And I can tell you from personal experience that it is gorgeous. Just this past weekend, I canoed over a 2-day period with one night overnight along the river from the southern tip of Anne Arundel County through Prince George's County and on into Charles. And this river is an amazing asset. I speak frequently of all of the amazing assets that Anne Arundel County has. We have so many wonderful things, the city of Annapolis, Fort Meade, the airport at BWI Thurgood Marshall, the bay and all these beautiful tributaries of the bay, but we rarely speak of the Patuxent River. And it's a shame that we don't. But one of the things I found during that trip over the last few days was that we really haven't done very much to make it accessible to our citizens. Just as we haven't really done much in terms of making our beaches accessible, making our rivers accessible and the waterways, the tributaries to the bay. We need to focus some attention on the Patuxent River. And I have to say that our friends in Prince George's County and Calvert and Charles have done a much better job of making sure their citizens have access to the Patuxent River. Every 2 miles down the river, there's a campsite, there's a place to put a canoe or a kayak in the water. She's nodding her head, right? You know of what I'm talking, right? Every 2 miles, there's a place to put in a canoe or a kayak to camp. And then every reasonable number of miles, there's a place to put in a trailered boat. So I'm getting back to the same point. We've got to focus more on quality of life in this county, and the Patuxent River needs to be part of our long-term plan. This is a 1.7 mile extension of the WB&A Trail. It is the last leg of a 10-foot wide paved trail from Odenton Road to the Patuxent River, total distance of 6 miles. This trail expansion will be yet another attraction to our growing list of quality of life amenities. In 2008, the county completed the first 4 miles of the trail, and now through a public-private cooperative effort with Classic Group at Two Rivers Associates and the county, this last section is now a reality. In addition to benefiting the health and citizens and the environment of the county, this trail expansion also has regional and national significance. Regionally, it will connect to the Prince George's County trail system, and nationally, it is a component of the American Discovery Trail that goes from Delaware all the way to California, and the East Coast Greenway, which goes from Maine to Florida. So it's now our job, in cooperation with the state and Prince George's County, to bridge the Patuxent River, a project that will go into design this year. Very excited about that. It's going to be awesome. So thank all of you, and look forward to trying out this new leg myself in the coming days. Have a great afternoon.
I don't know if you can tell, but he's passionate about wrecking parks. We're very fortunate to have a county executive who has supported us. I think at least in my tenure, we have not had this type of support from any elected official. And not only that, but he knows what he's talking about. So again, I thank our county executive. Let's give him a great hand for being here. And John got a little shout out from the county exec, but he was next on my list to acknowledge all of his efforts. And I know he is just burning to have 2 minutes. So I'm gonna deviate from the program and let John Corrin have a couple minutes.
Oh, please don't.
And Colleen has the cane now.
Please don't make me speak. Please don't make me come near a mic. I never met a mic that I didn't like, or a bike that I didn't like. I just want to say, as Steve did, how important this is, not just locally, but regionally and even nationally. Steve mentioned the East Coast Greenway. the East Coast Greenway thanks you all for adding this part of the trail. The Bike Commission is working hand in hand among citizens, representatives of the state, the county, and the city of Annapolis to try to fill in this network. One day we'll have a South Shore Trail, which will go from Annapolis to Odenton, which will link to this WB&A, and then one day we'll have this bridge, which will link to the PG County WB&A Trail, which Ken Keeler and I rode just last week. So little by little, we are getting this network filled in. We appreciate all of your support. And one day, we're going to have more of these little green lines on the Google map for bikes.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and have all the elected officials and a few dignitaries. Colleen will kind of escort you over to the line. And the last shout out I want to give is to my staff. They truly make me look good at every opportunity, and I just want to thank our Parks Administrator, Mark Garrity, who's here. I want to thank Colleen Joseph, who's in charge of all of these special events, does a fantastic job. The lady behind the scenes, Don Thomas. A lot of you don't know she's an up-and-coming star in our department. Ken Albin is not here. I want to recognize Adam Smith, who is the superintendent of trails. He does a fantastic job. Carolyn Ryan, who helps out Colleen, and all of her crew in the marketing, Mark, Keisha. Thank you guys for your effort today.
Here.
On the 3.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right.